Hello Vikings, this is Miss Hames. I know my voice doesn't sound great, but we're going to try and get through this. In this video, you're going to learn about completing a CER. In the end, you'll be able to say, I will analyze data and explain my conclusion. A CER is claim, evidence, and reasoning. We've done them in 6th grade, and you're going to do them in 7th grade and 8th grade. All right, so first let's just take a look at this. It says using the circle graph, answer the questions. And then it says, yes, write the questions in your notebook. So go ahead and get your notebook out, pause the video if you need to. So take a look at the circle graph and answer the question. It says more students prefer blank over any other sport. And then 2 says, what evidence do you have? And 3 says, what does the evidence mean? Explain your thinking. Well, number 1 is your claim. Number 2 is your evidence. Number 3 is your reasoning. So what can we say? More students prefer what? Soccer. That's probably your answer. More students prefer soccer over any other sport, looking at the circle, according to the circle chart. What evidence do you have? Well, you can't just say, look at the circle graph. You need to be specific. You could say the circle graph shows 29% of students chose soccer as their favorite sport. And then you could say 22% of students chose basketball, 18% chose volleyball, and so forth. Then your reasoning, number 3, what does the evidence mean? You could say, more students chose soccer than any other sport. That's how you proved your answer. Now that seems pretty simplistic, but that's how we do it. That's the same procedure that we do it with for more complicated. So, conclusions based on data. This is how to know you have the right answer. So why are conclusions important? Science is about explaining how things work. When you see a question, you should be able to connect information to what you already know. It's not enough to have the right answer. You have to prove why your answer is correct. All right, so this is how it works. The CER, claim, evidence, reasoning. There's 3 parts to it. Your claim, it's your answer to the problem or to the question with no explanation. It's just your answer. The evidence is the data and the facts that you use to support your claim. If you have numbers, that's great. Reasoning, it's how does your evidence prove your claim? You have to connect your claim to your evidence. Basically, you're explaining each piece of evidence. All right, let's look at another example. It says Miss Fisher's class had pizza for lunch. The graph below shows the distribution, number of pizza slices eaten at lunch. And you can see that 7 slices of cheese were eaten and 18 slices of pepperoni. So the question is, what is Miss Fisher's class favorite type of pizza? So your claim would simply be your answer. Miss Fisher's class likes pepperoni pizza best. Notice, there's no explanation and there's no data at this stage. You simply state the answer. Then next is your evidence. What evidence do you have that supports this claim? Well, here's your evidence, and you're using complete sentences, even though we're using numbers. 18 out of 25 students chose pepperoni. That's your first piece of evidence. 72% of students chose pepperoni. You're saying the same thing, you're just putting it in a percentage this time. And then only 7% of only 7 students chose cheese. Again, notice that there's still no explanation. The best evidence uses numbers if you can, but there's no explanation. You're just simply stating data or facts. Those are your pieces of evidence that support your claim that the class's favorite overall is pepperoni. All right, now we have a reasoning. Now we have to explain why. Now comes the explanation. Now is the because, the why. We have to explain how these facts, how this data proves the claim. So here's the reasoning. Miss Fisher's class prefers pepperoni pizza over cheese pizza because 18 out of the 25 chose pepperoni. More students prefer pepperoni, therefore it is their favorite. You used these pieces of evidence and explained why. They chose pepperoni because that was their favorite. That's what they wanted to eat. Now, when we give you a CER, we're going to give you a student rubric. A rubric is something you can use to help you figure out how to get the most points. So if you look at this, it has the claim and a whole column, a whole row about the claim, evidence, and reasoning. So let's look. It says you'll be given a student rubric for each CER. Number 2, read it. It'll give you ideas for what to write. 3, it asks you questions to help you earn as many points as possible. Read it. So if you take a look for the claim, you get 0 points if you don't write a claim. That makes sense. You get 1 point if you write a claim but it's incorrect. And here it says what type of boundary causes the formation of mountains. And here it has the same question. You have to explain the difference between when it forms a mountain and when it forms a volcano. But each rubric's going to be different. And you get 2 points if you make a correct claim. So you can make 2 points on the claim. On the evidence, you can earn anywhere from 0 to 4 points. On the reasoning, anywhere from 0 to 4 points. So how many points total? Whoops, didn't mean to do that. How many points total can you earn? 10. 10 points. So multiply it by 10, that is your grade. These are usually summatives, which is a test grade. So if you get 8 points, you get an 80, which is pretty good. So if you're just sitting there at the CER and you have no idea what to write and you're confused, read through this because down here it gives you some questions. And if you've answered them, you're going to get more. If you've answered them correctly, you'll get more points. So be sure to read through your student rubric when you get it. All right, this year we have added something new. So after you write your claim, your evidence, and your reasoning, then you're going to put it all together in one great essay. So you're used to writing your claim, your evidence, and your reasoning. Now we're just asking you to put it all together. So what's going to be in this one great essay? Well, let me tell you about this one great essay. You'll write in complete sentences. That makes sense. It's an essay. 2, you'll state your claim, your answer to the question. That should be your topic sentence. It should be your first sentence. Then 3, you'll state your evidence, all the data, all the facts, if you have numbers, that support your claim, your answer. And then you'll explain how each piece of evidence supports your claim. You'll conclude by restating your claim. Your conclusion sentence is often very similar to your topic sentence. All right, so you're going to put it all together in one great essay. You'll write your rough draft of your one great essay. Then, on the next day usually, you'll have a peer, probably your table partner, read through it. Your peer will give you feedback and will fill out some information. And then you'll take a look at their feedback and then you'll revise and edit based on that feedback. And then you'll write one final copy or final draft of your essay. Then you'll turn it all in for a summative grade. Remember that you can pause the video. You can go back to any parts of it if you have questions or you're confused about anything. All right, so next it's going to be your turn. You will soon be completing your very first CER, and I know you'll do a great job. Feel free to watch this video as many times as you need to.